Okay, so dot plots are usually good for seeing different groupings or different potential populations. Okay, so let's try a few dot plots. Again, there's not too many options for dot plots actually. So here, let's just do one dot plot at a time. Okay, so here we'll do a dot plot of what's in column 8. Okay, fine. You can check out some of these things, but again, there actually aren't too many options for dot plots of the things we can do, unfortunately. Um, so we just say okay. So here's a dot plot, and the nice thing about dot plots, as you can see, is there are different groupings emerging here. Often these groupings are for a particular reason. These groups act differently. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what this is a dot plot of, what the data is exactly here, but what you can see is actually it's lung cancer. That's what it is. Okay, so you can see uh, how long people live given the different stages of lung cancer they're in. Okay, so you can see, if you're only living this amount of days, there's a certain group probably in a different stage of cancer that live this amount, different stage of cancer. Here, you've got somebody that's living quite a long time. Maybe they're in remission. Again, hovering, you can get some interesting information. This actual point is from row 14. This happens to be row 14's position here is 450. Okay, so another thing that I just want to show that you can do, let's say that, oops, these first people are from A, second people are from B, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up here, C, D, 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 E, sure. Okay, so you could actually label these things and see how that can play a role. Where's dot plot? There it is. Okay, so you could do a simple again and then say, oops, sorry, I'm going to go to multiple graphs, by variable here. Where did I just put that? Probably in column 7. Let's see what happens there. So you can separate this. Now here is the group of A, here are the group of B, here's the group of C, and the group of E. Okay, so you could, here's E down here, here's D. So you could split these up by groups, I guess, if you wanted to actually label them and really see if the populations are splitting up the way that I said. Different groups usually represent different populations. You might try and label these populations and see if that difference is actually coming from that kind of grouping. Okay, so some other options with dot plot. Let's do both two dot plots at the same time. Okay, so if I do column 8 and column 9, okay, what are we going to get? It's nice because you can compare. Let's say you've got, for my purposes, maybe I've got two different courses of 213, and I want to compare them to see if their groupings are similar. So like if the letter grades are, maybe this is the B's and this is the A minuses and this is the A and this is the A pluses. If you do a dot plot on top of each other or side by side, the important thing is here that the x-axis remains constant for both. You can compare two different sets of data to see if you're getting the same populations sort of coming out at you. Okay, so those are some of the options that you can play around with for dot plots. Remember, dot plots, this is good for numeric data instead of categorical. Pie and bar charts were for categorical data. Now we're getting into numeric summaries.